Hello, members of the community who love vinyl. I'm Midge, a guy in a hat who loves to talk about records. And today's video has been inspired by Rob Walker's video on atrocious album covers or car crash covers, whatever you want to call it. And his video talked about a lot of bad design, bad fonts, bad images. And it inspired me to go through my collection and pull out some of my own howlers that I thought were equally as terrible. Although it's all very subjective, isn't it? I mean, one man's meat is murder is another man's album by Poison. It's all very down to individual taste and things like that. But when I looked through my collection, I didn't think I had anything really bad, to be honest with you. I mean, there's loads of bad album covers out there. There's whole websites and everything devoted to the subject. And none of the albums I picked out are really bad or intended to shock or anything like that. But these are just some of the things I think, what on earth were they thinking about? Or why did they pick that image? Or why did the design company suddenly give up and decide to go to the pub and just put this out? I mean, some of them are absolutely atrocious. But I'm going to start this video by talking about a couple of albums that have stuck in my mind over the years for different reasons. So I'm prefacing this video with a memory, and it's... I've been into music from a very early age, and I remember my dad going in HMV on Saturdays. He used to take me in. And I remember spotting this album cover, and it frightened the life out of me. I must have only been about 11 or 12, and it really put me off. And I always remember thinking, when I grow up, I'm never going to buy that album. But I did. And you might be thinking, I'm building it up now, but it's The Doors, Strange Days. And there was something about that cover as a child that really freaked me out, and I don't really know why. It is a strange album cover, obviously, hence the title, but it doesn't really have anything to do with the song or anything like that. But I ended up buying it, so it can't have been that bad. But it is a strange album cover design in terms of, it's just a bunch of circus people in a yard. And although the yard looks interesting, and that's another design feature, this should have been a gatefold. Why wasn't it a gatefold? It's just, doesn't work as a single sleeve. But yeah, I mean, why were the Doors just relegated to a really small picture on a poster on the front and the back? And it's just, bad album design or just freaky. Anyway, it's just one that's just stuck in my mind over the years because I remember seeing it as a kid, and like I say, it scared me to death. Another one, for different reasons, is the Velvet Underground. Obviously, they had their share of good album covers as well, but the White Light, White Heat album, it was like a black cover with like a spot gloss on of a guy's tattoo. And I love that album. It's freaky, it's out there, it's one of the most unique albums ever made. But when I came to securing a copy of my own, I always insisted on tracking down a copy of the alternate cover, which I think is far superior. So this is my copy of White Light, White Heat, and it's so much better design than the original. So yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Because sometimes you think bands change the cover, or record companies realise they made a mistake and they change covers or they redesign them. So that just shows it's a failing in itself. But I think this is a much better cover for the album than the one they originally came up with. But again, it's just taste, isn't it? So without further ado, I'm going to go through some of my howlers to show you and the reasons why I think they're so poor. And I'm going to start off with one that Rob showed as well. And it's A Kind Revolution by Paul Weller. I mean, I'm glad Rob picked this one because I've always thought this is terrible. I mean, Paul Weller is somebody who loves vinyl, understands the importance of it, has made some great album designs, great album covers, and yet he comes out with this. I mean, why did he let this go? And when you look inside, there's a picture of Paul Weller, and I always like to think it should have been the face that Paul Weller pulled when his design agency showed him the design. I mean, that would be my face if I saw that design. I'd be like, you what? I paid you for that. But I mean, look at Paul's hair. I mean, he's had curtains in the past, but he hasn't got them on that. So I mean, he must have been able to see it. So I don't know why he decided to clear that. I mean, there's nothing clever. I get it. It's like, stencil type design, revolutionary type writing and things like that. But you think, well, do a proper stencil. Get Banksy to do a proper stencil of it. I mean, that's just poor. And A Kind Revolution. And it doesn't work on any level to me. It just seems really, really lazy. And what's worse about it, is in the packaging. They've even included a print of it. I mean, who wants to put that on the wall? It's bizarre. And like I say, Paul Weller's album covers are usually spot on, and his attention to detail with things like using old labels and things like that. I mean, it's just absolutely bizarre. But yeah, a real failure there for me. So I'm glad Rob picked that out. So I'm just going to pick a few of this pile I've got at random. And another thing that inspired this video was some of the attitudes towards design agencies. I mean, I picked out Monty Python's Contractual Obligation album, and I really like the design on this. It's really clever. So obviously, you know, they're coming to the end of the contract with Charisma. They needed to put one out, and they made a joke out of the entire process. Don't really want to do it, so let's just churn something out. I mean, it's not a churn out. It's just a song, an album full of songs, and they're really good. But I've always liked the packaging. That they saw it through on the whole packaging ethos, so that got the handwritten stuff. But the thing that made me think about doing this video was on the front cover. There's a little bit of writing on the bottom edge, and it says, "Can Terry Gilliam do a nice eye-catching cover to help it sell? Eric Idle." To which Terry Jones has written underneath, "It's not really worth it." And that's some of the approach of some of these designs here. I'm going to pick one out to show you. Just something, this one, Kasabian. This is Kasabian's 4813, right? And it's called that because obviously that's the length of the album. So they decided to go with that. And on the front cover, you've got all the track timings of the songs. But, again, they've not seen it through because it's not even that the songs didn't have titles. They do, they're on the back. Again, pink sleeve, just a poorly chosen font, just at random. Oh yeah, we're just gonna, what are they playing at? I mean, the design agency must have been laughing their asses off. I mean, they've just, they've got the deadline looming. It's Friday morning. They haven't thought of anything. They put all the timings on the thing and then buggered off to the pub for the rest of the afternoon. I mean, they must be laughing their heads off. And inside, you've got a great picture of Surgeon Tom, which would have made an amazing front cover if they'd have gone with that. But lurid pink sleeve and just track times and, just taking the piss. Okay, next one. Oh, Free. Tons of sobs. I mean, I've never understood this cover. I mean, what's this about? It's like, it's poorly shot. You've got Mickey Mouse in a glass top coffin. You've got somebody's rabbit. You've got, fair enough, an eerie type clown face, a cactus, and a leopard wandering round a graveyard. I mean, the drugs must have been strong in them days. But I mean, what's the idea behind this? It's just, is it meant to be eerie? Is it meant to be creepy? It's just poor. I mean, Mickey Mouse in a coffin, it's just, but great inner sleeve, which should have been the front sleeve. Just, yeah, who knows? Next up, this is another example of lazy design. I mean, this is unbelievable. Rolling Stones, Blue and Lonesome, right? The iconic Stones, tongue and lips, fair enough. But the full cover, I mean, it's an album of blues covers. I mean, couldn't they have the Rolling Stones dressing up as old-fashioned blues players, sat in a gutter, or with the guitars and Mick on his harmonica? I mean, look, that's a great idea. I mean, how much did they get paid for this? It's just, it's unbelievable. And it's, they've got shots of the Stones playing inside. But, I mean, fair enough. But the cover, I mean, this is a Rolling Stones album's cover. I mean, I'd be embarrassed unveiling that. I mean, it's blue, fair enough, but it's just, again, just that someone was paid for this. Someone was actually paid for that. Unbelievable. Next up. Yeah, someone who should know better. And, Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds. This is his second solo album, Chasing Yesterday. And the worst thing about this is that it's credited to Noel. Noel came up with the design. the concept for this. I mean, he stood against a white wall in white gear, and he's got a few black lines. I mean, the album's called Chasing Yesterday. Is that the best he could come up with for that? Chasing Yesterday, and he's not chasing anything really, is he? Well, he's chasing a need to find a sleeve designer. Back cover, just, he can't even bother to turn up for that one. Just, you know, and the worst thing, the inner gate, I mean, it's a gatefold for this. I mean, I don't know who these guys are. I presume they could be the Stacey brothers, part of his band. But I mean, why? What relevance has that to anything at all? I mean, at least the inner's a bit more colourful, but yeah, artwork, concept and design by Noel Gallagher. I mean, yeah, but what a waste. Just no imagination at all, in my opinion. Okay. Oh, this might be a bit controversial to some people. There's a design agency led by Brian Cannon called Microdot, and in the Britpop era, he got a lot of work, mainly through Oasis, because, in fairness, he designed some really cool Oasis album sleeves and single sleeves. Some might say Shaker Maker, things like that. But I also thought that he got away with murder a lot of the time. I mean, some of the images he chose were just so simple and not really a lot of thought behind them. And this is a good example of that. I mean, this is Cass' second album, Mother Nature Calls. And it's, well, nature, sky, a bit of a rainbow, and a big font, because they couldn't think of anything else to fill the album cover, and not even a nice font, even not even a good font. I mean, that's better on the back cover. I mean, you can understand that, but I mean, just, you know, I mean, I blame the bands as well. I mean, if somebody came out to me as a member of a band, you're making an album. I mean, how many people get to make an album, let alone one that, you know, this is going to last forever, hopefully. And yet, you know, it's a work of art, and you've done that. I mean, I'd be thinking, well, when are you finishing it? You know, there's going to be some more things on it. I don't know, flying cows or anything to make it a bit more interesting, a UFO even. And you just got the lyrics and some sort of generic band shots. I mean, that's poor. And I think Brian Cannon and Microdot, you know, they did a lot of sleeves like that, and I just think it's just poor, absolutely poor. Anyway, another one, Harry Nilsson suddenly decided in 1977 to put out an album where he gave himself 4 eyes. And the album's Knilsson. I mean, that's your album cover. And, you know, but it could have been worse, because it could have been the inner shot. I mean, and white, plain white back cover. I mean, you know, what? I mean, you know, it's like an alien version of Crime Watch. Have you seen this man? I think you'd remember it if you saw him. Yeah, again, mind blown. And oh yeah, here's a good one. No, sorry, a bad one. Jojo Gunn, the band Jojo Gunn, who was made up of Jay Ferguson from Spirit. This was his band after Spirit had finished, and they're a bit more of a generic rock band, but still a good one. And this is their album, 1973 album, Jumping the Gun. So you've got a bit of a pun in there as well. So, I mean, there you go. You've got all the band members. They're sharing a bed. It's hard being a musician. Life on the road is hard. You've got a barely furnished room. They're all sharing a bed. Fair enough. You know, touring's expensive. Cut down on things like that. But then you realise what they're all looking at. And it's... I'm trying to put this nicely, but it's a huge woman flying through the air. I mean, I don't know if she's bounced off the bed or... You know, there's going to be a dent in... Well, she's going to go through the window, I think. But she doesn't seem that bothered about it. But, I mean, what's that? What? What? Jump in the gun? Jump? You get cancelled for that today. You would. And inside, it's even worse because you've got the poor woman with all the album credits written all over her, talking to a pig. It's not exactly flattering, is it? I mean, anyway. Next up, yeah. The reason I love the vinyl format is because you can tell stories on album covers. Hypnosis were very good at that design. Lots of surreal type covers, lots of stories to them. And over the years, I love album covers that are full of detail, that you can imagine your own story from them. And a good example of that is this album, actually. It's Mick Ronson. It's Slaughter on 10th Avenue. And if you look at the back cover, it's great. It's lots of detail. There's obviously been some sort of a shooting. He's hunched over the body of a woman who's been shot by the look of it. There's lots of onlookers, not necessarily concerned though for some reason. People looking out the window. That's a great image. It's not photographed very well, to be fair, but it's that's a great album cover. That, but I mean, for some reason they went for what appears to be a picture of your mum in Tenerife in the 80s. I mean, what's all that about? I mean, I think he's meant to be crying, so it's a close-up of that, so he's obviously upset. But I mean, I'd be upset. I mean, Slaughter on 10th Avenue, what an evocative, cool title that is. And yet you've got your picture of your mum in Marbella in the 80s. I mean, yeah. Bizarre, again. Next up is a band that, they've got a series of bad album covers, to be fair. I haven't got all of them. I've just pulled out a couple. But, I mean, Fleetwood Mac, I mean, over the years, they've had some very, very worrying album covers. English Rose, I don't have it, but I'm going to put a picture up there. But, I mean, and... is it Mystery? No, there's another one with Mick Fleetwood on it. He seemed to be more or less responsible for this. But yeah, they've got a history of bad album covers. I mean, this is their... I mean, also, I love middle period Fleetwood Mac. I think it's really underrated. You've got Bob Welshing, who writes unusual songs. And it was a cool period of Fleetwood Mac that's often ignored. But I'm not surprised, really, because, I mean, this is it 73, this one? Mystery to Me? I mean, I know it's meant to be surreal, but you've got, well, is it a monkey? You've got a monkey who's eaten half of a book and then decides he wants to have a go at the cake, and he's obviously got stomachache because he's crying, and then on the back you've got a guru preaching to him. Well, it's either that or, a chef saying he shouldn't mix those. You've got the obligatory penguin because it's Fleetwood Mac. But, I mean, to just... what's going on? I mean, these had made better front covers, wouldn't they? And they're good. I like middle period Fleetwood Mac. I think they're great, but I mean, this is even worse. I mean, this is Mystery to Me, 74. I mean, right, you've got Mick Fleetwood, who is not exactly the best looking man in the world. I mean, he's no George Clooney. Let's not, and he's sucking his stomach in so you can see his rib cage, which is off-putting for a start. He's got his young daughter on there, and he's wearing what can only be described as lace pants. I mean, that doesn't look good. Whichever, I know they've done, the 3 shots, but none of those shots look good. And you just think, Mick, how strong was the hash back then? It's just, I mean, they're all laughing about it, but it's too late now. It's done. That's it. That is your album cover. And I was looking into this, and there's a quote basically, and he says that Mick Fleetwood's lace underwear was donated to him from a friend. I mean, that's worrying in 2 parts, really, because A, who was your friend that donated them, and why would you want to wear someone else's pants? I mean, that's just, again, mind blown. Next up, from 1977, I don't know if you've ever browsed through YouTube videos, and they've always got, like, clickbait titles like the 20 stupidest ways people died or the 10 most disturbing deaths ever. But they've also got a series that's called the 20 most disturbing things you can see on video doorbells. And this is obviously things that happen during the night, and the residents of these people who've got video doorbells, they review the footage, and there's all sorts of creepy and weird people coming up to the doors and doing really strange and freaky things. I can only assume this is one of them. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, imagine if you're viewing his footage and seeing them two on it. I mean, bizarre. This is Lauren Rinder and W. Michael Lewis, The Seven Deadly Sins from 1977. It's a cool disco album. It's one of the best disco albums. Well, yeah, disco is good. So, you know, I know you're raising your eyebrows, quite a lot of you. It's a great disco album, largely instrumental, and obviously the subject is the 12 Deadly Sins. So each track is sort of meant to represent a deadly sin, but surely one of the greatest sins is this album cover. I mean, that's just disturbing. I mean, can you imagine them two at your door at night? I mean, what are they selling? And on the back, there's a picture of them laughing, which somehow is even more disturbing than the front cover. I mean, that's just, you know, the eyes follow you everywhere. Across the room, up and down the stairs, in your dreams, in your nightmares. I mean, yeah, scary stuff. Another quite scary album cover. I'm not sure what year this is from. Let's have a look. 1971. This is John Entwistle of The Who, and this is the poetically titled "Smash Your Head Against the Wall." I mean, I think he's meant to be wearing a death mask on there, but he doesn't look well, and it's combined with a X-ray image. I mean, that cover is just like, I mean, obviously it must have been his idea, but I mean, it's like Fu Manchu, isn't it? It's a bit disturbing. On the back, you've got, I don't know, it looks like an anteater, but it can't be an anteater. It's got coyote or something, and a skull. But what was he thinking of? I mean, it's a decent album. This John Entwistle is a really good songwriter, in my opinion. He writes a lot of quite comedic type songs, but I mean, this is a good album. But who's going to buy that? Well, I did, but you know, you're not going to go out your way to buy that, are you? I mean, it's just crazy. Again, another strange album cover, and this is on Vertigo, and you might think, well, all Vertigo album covers are strange, aren't they? That's they're all surreal, they're all a bit strange, and you know, that's the selling point. But this is not good. She's Rod Stewart's "An Old Raincoat Won't Ever Let You Down." I mean, I've never understood this. I mean, what it appears to be is a young demon-looking kids attacking an old man. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I'm not even sure if that's Rod Stewart or not. There's a picture on the inner sleeve and the scene looking a bit calmer, but I don't know if that's Rod Stewart or not. But I mean, what was that? I mean, these kids are scary. I mean, you know, what was he thinking of? I mean, you know, you can't go around attacking grandparents, can you? I mean, the total opposite to Grandad, We Love You. But I mean, in the 70s, I mean, it's not really hip or anything, is it? It's just, yeah, strange. Okay, and this is another good one. I'll paint the scene. Imagine you're in a design agency. You might have just qualified. You might be, you know, first day on the job. And you're in a design company and they say to you, right, this is your first project and it's for an album sleeve. So it's going to be seen all around the world and we want you to work on it. And he says, cheers, boss. Right, what is it? What do you want me to do? Right, you see this burrito here? I want you to sit down and stick a load of sequins to it. Yeah. The Flying Burrito Brothers Burrito Deluxe. Now, deluxe in normal terms might mean you get a special sauce or something on it or an extra filling, but not in this case. Apparently their idea of a deluxe burrito is one with sequins on it. I mean, God knows what that would do to your digestion. I mean, I dread to think, but I mean, somebody actually sat down and did that. Some poor sod had to sit down and do it. And I'm not being funny, but can you imagine going to the band and saying, we've got your new album cover, it's a burrito that we've stuck sequins on. I mean, I'd be looking around thinking, am I the only one not smoking something here? I mean, they paid for that. I mean, I don't get it. Just money for old rope. It really is money for old rope. And speaking of money for old rope, this is an album. This is a compilation. And I was working in a record shop when this came out, and we passed this album round, and none of us could believe that somebody had got paid to design this. And you know what compilation albums are like? They're usually quite dynamic covers, big fonts, trying to draw you in, 20 blockbusting hits from the 70s, 400 hits from disco hits from the 80s, 8 LP box set. And yet, this is a soul and funk compilation. It's a decent compilation of tracks from the Stateside label. And this is the cover. Stateside sampled. I mean, what's going on in that cover? You've got the Stateside logo sampled, and it looks like the logo's fallen off something, or perhaps they were doing it on a photocopier and it just smudged. But I mean, they've had to put a big label on there to describe what it actually is. I mean, what is anything about that cover meant to draw you in or to explain what it's about other than the hype sticker? And it's the same on the back. I mean, this is a decent compilation. It's got some decent funk and soul tracks on it. 3 Degrees, Lattimore, Cannonball Adderley, all been sampled. Minnie Riperton. It's got the famous track The Edge, David McCallum, that David Axelrod produced. I Got The by Labi Siffre, obviously sampled by Eminem. But, I mean, what design company got away with that? I mean, in fact, I'm going to name and shame them. Designed by Active Noise. I mean, there's nothing active about that. I mean, that is so poor. We thought it was a mistake. We thought, was this sleeve printed right? Should we send it back? But no, it's just, I mean, that is again, basically your deadline's looming, you can't be arsed, you just wang some logos on a photocopier, smudge it, and then get off to the pub. That is shocking. Stateside sampled. Shocking. Another one that's a bit more in the comedic effect, but it's still a strange album design. This is a soul funk album. It's from the Dramatics from 1973 on Stax, and it's called A Dramatic Experience. Now, I'm not sure what sort of experience is going on there, but it's certainly not dramatic. I mean, I can only assume it's because there's a track on here called The Devil Is Dope, and that's meant to be the devil, although, you know, it looks like he's got a hangover or something. But I mean, it's a strange album cover for a soul album anyway. But I mean, you know, he's had better days, hasn't he? I know it's meant to be the devil, but you know, it's just, imagine that, lines of that in a record shop. You'd be thinking, what? I mean, he's slightly more demonic on the back cover, but I mean, you know, whether that was his high school yearbook photo, I don't know, but bizarre. Next one, another bad design in my opinion, and it's from the Charlatans, and this is from their 2008 album You Cross My Path. I mean, what's going on there? I mean, Cats on Fire. I mean, Black Cat, You Cross My Path, I get that bit, but that is poor. But it's poor picture, poor font, really, really boring back cover. I mean, this again is a decent album from the Charlatans, but I mean, imagine coming up to the band and thinking, you know, what do you think, lads? What do you think? I'd be thinking, fuck off. I'm not having that. It's just, you know. Oh, anyway. Again, somebody should know better. Brian Ferry. And this is his 2007 album of covers by, I mean, Brian Ferry makes brilliant cover albums, but he doesn't make brilliant covers, which is a bit ironic. And this is his album of Dylan covers, imaginately called Dylan-esque. But I mean, what's going on here? I mean, he's obviously been walking through an alien landscape or something, or he looks a bit like an advert for Nurofen, like he's got a bad headache or something like that. But I mean, you know, Brian cleared this. I mean, and he's sort of like in emotion as well. He's like, what's going on there? But it's just terrible, absolutely terrible. Okay, I think you can definitely say that I've saved the best till last, or in this case, the worst till last. And these last two albums are just beyond, the bad stage. Are just unbelievable. And the first of these is an album that's I've tried to make sense of for many years, and I still haven't gotten to the bottom of it. So maybe somebody could help in the comments. But this is Neil Diamond's 1971 live album, Hot August Night, and this is the front cover of it. I mean, what on earth is going on there? I mean, cracking live album. Love Neil Diamond. He's a massively underrated songwriter, and this is a really good live album. To be fair, it's got loads of his hits on it. Solitary Man, Sweet Caroline, Red Wine, and The Grass Won't Pay No Mind. Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon. Play Me, Song Sun Blue, Crackling Rosie, Brother Love's Travelling Salvation Show. Just a cracking live album. Superb performance. But what on earth is going on there? I mean, all the action shots you could have of Neil, and you've got him sort of. I mean, I don't even know what he's doing there. I mean, he looks like he's having some sort of fit. I mean, whether he's stepped on a wire and he's been electrocuted, or whether whether he's whether he's doing kung fu. I don't know whether it was a troublesome audience. But I mean, somebody came up to Neil and said to him, "This is going to be the cover of your live album." I mean, if that was me, I'd be saying, there's no effing way I'm having that as my album cover. I look like a right dick. I mean, what am I doing for a start? Of all the action shots, I mean, you could have had an action shot of him holding a microphone. It looks like someone's taken the microphone out of that picture. There's no picture. You could have had an action shot of him with his guitar. I mean, the back cover's pretty cool. There's pictures on the inside of him playing his guitar again. I mean, but what on earth? I mean, I don't get it. I mean, but I have tried to make sense of this album cover over the years, and I'll show you what I mean. Firstly, it could have been that he just wanted to show off his skills on an instrument, and he'd newly mastered the saxophone. So that would work. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It looks like he's in full flow. With perhaps he didn't want to be known as a jazz artist, but that's one potential explanation for this cover, I suppose. Another explanation could be that maybe a deranged fan on that night threw a snake at him, and this was his attempts to bring the situation under control. I mean, that would make sense, and that would probably shift a load of copies. I mean, that's rock and roll. That, I mean, he probably worked for Ozzy Osbourne, but whether or not he thought, a snake, Alice Cooper's got that thing down already, no. So, remove the snake, and you've just got me. But I mean, Neil, mate, it's not a good look. It's not, no, just no. And the last one is potentially the worst one of all. I cringe, and I'm not just saying that. I cringe whenever I see this album cover because it's so inappropriate, not necessary, bizarre, and it's one of those moments where you think, what the actual F was going through the design company's minds when they thought this up to sell an album. And I'll be honest with you, I've tried to tone it down a little bit for YouTube, but I don't think I've been overly successful. But you see what you think. I mean, it's terrible. There's no disguising this. It's absolutely terrible. And it's the only album made by the group Blind Faith from the 70s. I mean, it's just so cringe. It's just, you've got like a prepubescent girl holding what looks to be some sort of aeroplane-shaped dildo. I mean, what were they thinking? What, just... And the album is really good. I mean, it's a supergroup that consisted of Eric Clapton, Rick Gretsch from Family, Ginger Baker from Cream, and Steve Winwood. It was just, and this album is full of Steve Winwood compositions, and it's absolutely superb. You've got Had to Cry Today, Can't Find My Way Home. You've even got a decent jam track by Ginger Baker that finishes the album called Do What You Like. It's a great album, but you know, there's scores of people that probably think, I'm not buying that. I'm not being associated with that over the years. And even at the time, I think there was controversy about it, and you know, for good reason. In America, they just used these band shots as the front cover, and I think eventually it was changed. But I think they said the concept behind this was that you've got like the miracle of the space age and technology and things, and you've got the innocence of a young girl in terms of, you know, Adam and Eve and how far we've come. And but you know, if somebody brought that into me, I'd report them to the police. I just think, you know, what you doing, mate? It's not like, oh, just honestly, it's just I can't. I can't. You know, I think strangely enough, I think some countries issued it with this sleeve. I mean, I'd take that all day long. I mean, it's almost like one of those pictures where you remember Letraset transfers. I used to love them. You got like a background, and you could just you sort of like with a coin or whatever. You could put like action scenes and Spider-Man swinging about, or even flying cows, and you could make a scene of your own. I mean, why that wouldn't have been the design concept, I don't know. But I mean, they went with this. I mean, it's just all manner of wrongs, and apparently the girl was persuaded to do it by her parents, who promised her to buy her a horse if she did it, and they didn't. I think they gave her like, you know, 40 quid or something, which was probably a lot of money in those days. But even so, I mean, you know, can you imagine the playground, the grief she got for that? I mean, what was all that about? You know, it's just so yeah. That's got to be the worst of the lot, and it's just unbelievable. But yeah, I cringe. But it's a great album. It's a great album. So yeah, thanks for watching this far. I hope you agree with these howlers and design disasters. And if you've got any more of your own, or if you think I've missed a few, please let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. Midge out. Look, Mr. Diamond, we can't do it. Every single record retailer is refusing to stock your album simply because of the artwork you've insisted on using. We can't do it. It won't sell. Why? Mick, all right, mate. You got them pants, haven't you, for that photo shoot? Cheers. You washed these?